Experiences with Jesus. In the first chapter of the Gospel of John, verses 35 to 43, 6 logical steps in experiences with Jesus are recorded. They were the experiences of 2 of the disciples of John the Baptist, Andrew and John. Note the experiences of Andrew and John in logical sequence. 1, they looked upon Jesus. The 2 men were standing with John the Baptist when Jesus approached. They were in the right place to see Jesus. They were near enough to him to see him. Blessed disciples, we can see Jesus today by faith, but we must be near enough to him to see him. We can see his glorious smile and feel the warmth of his loving heart and the power of his charming personality. Now, we have a metaphor there, but we also have indication that this is like so many other initiations of the child stage. And ancient Egyptians, some of them had that too. In that particular inflection, it was a hawk instead of a dove. But we do find mythological enactments or experiences that use the dove as well. Part 2, they heard about Jesus. When John the Baptist saw Jesus as he walked, he said, "Behold the Lamb of God." Verse 36. This testimony impressed Andrew and John very much. It created in their hearts a desire to know more about this attractive and unique person. It has always been true and is true today that when people look earnestly upon Jesus and hear about him, they desire to know more about him. And we could say he was the Aries principle embodied, and he was to make clear the Piscean age, all that fisherman references and stuff. Now, they could have literally been fishermen, but you definitely see the teaching there. Section 3, they followed Jesus, and they followed Jesus, verse 37. As they followed Jesus, he was gracious to them and inquired of their purpose. When they intimated their desire to visit with him in his home, he courteously extended the invitation to them in these words, "Come and see." This is the gracious and standing invitation of Jesus to all men. Jesus invites all men to follow him and to learn of and receive the blessings of Christianity. And some paths, like Islam speaks of, there's blessings of even going to the gatherings. You don't really even have spiritual intentions, but people will receive some benefits of even being there. Section 4, they abode with Jesus and abode with him that day. Verse 39, what a blessed privilege. How we would like to know all that happened on this first visit with Jesus. Perhaps, in glory, we can know. We are sure that they listened earnestly to every word that he spoke. As Jesus spoke, the marvelous revelation came to them that Jesus is the Christ. This was natural. Any person who will abide with Jesus will come to know him as the Christ, the Son of God, the Lamb of God, which takes away the sin of the world. And we think of that mere material aspect, the filtering to get the gold and all that stuff. But it's, per se, the fool's gold. 5. They testified to Jesus. When the brief visit with Jesus was over, Andrew went rushing out of his presence, and before he did anything else, found his brother Simon, and exclaimed to him, "We have found the Messias," which is, being interpreted, the Christ. Well, Christias is, anointed, Beshind and Masyich is also of that. It has the indication of becoming somebody who has to travel around to do such work. Hence all those references to world saviors that had to travel in their mission. Verse 41, John must have gone to his brother James with the same glorious message. When Philip came to know Jesus, he went after Nathanael. It is natural for the person who knows and loves Jesus to testify to others of him. Now, if you really are a believer in a path, you want others to be part of that path. Section 6. They brought others to Jesus. It is said of Andrew, when he had found Simon, and he brought him to Jesus. Verse 42. The intimation is that Simon did not want to go to see Jesus, and that Andrew had to exercise some unusual persuasion. He possibly did not use physical force, but spiritual power. He used the power of love, conviction, and sincerity. It was the best deed of Andrew's life. Philip won Nathanael with the invitation of Jesus, come and see. Bringing men to Jesus is a sacred privilege. These disciples saw Jesus, heard about him, followed him, learned of him, and told others about him, and brought them to him.